Okay, welcome everyone to our session tonight. My name is Nikki from Inspire, and tonight we're going to share with you a little bit of information about the workforce pathway. And we've got two special guests that are going to talk us through the pathway and how this works for seniors. And the first guest that I'm going to introduce is Steve Schneider, and he's going to share with you a little bit more about this pathway.
Great. Thanks, Nikki. Good evening and welcome, everybody. We're glad you're interested in the workforce pathway. Just a little bit of background around this pathway as we were talking about developing it and why we were talking about developing it. When you take a look at some of the labor statistics for Sheboygan County, we actually live in a really unique place. In September of 2020, so just a couple months ago, if you looked at the state unemployment rate, it was around 5.5%. But in Sheboygan County, it was about 2.3%. And historically, Sheboygan County is well below the state unemployment rate, which speaks really well to the companies that we have in our county and the fact that there is work to be gained here in the county. Other statistics that we looked at as we were talking about developing this, contrary to what you might believe or what you might think, when we look at the graduation statistics for high school graduates in Sheboygan County, about 1 in 3 graduates from high schools in Sheboygan County do not go on to any form of college. So we can anticipate that about 30% every year of high school graduates in Sheboygan County are going to be entering into the workforce. So it's not uncommon for our students to be looking at this pathway. And so we thought, well, we should probably formalize this in some way and really give these students some advantage before they leave high school. And finally, just ran a report at the first week of November looking at entry-level positions in Sheboygan County that pay $16 an hour or more. And at the beginning of the month of November, there were about 500 of those positions posted looking for entry-level workforce employees. So given all these statistics, we thought, you know what, it makes all the sense in the world for us to actually formalize this process so that we can give our students as much advantage as possible as they consider entering into the workforce directly. I think we have a video now actually from the Sheboygan County Economic Development Corps with a little bit of a welcome to the pathway as well.
Hello, high school students. Are you struggling to pick your career path? I remember when I was in high school, like everyone else, I was having a hard time trying to figure out what I wanted to do after high school. I didn't have enough work experience. I didn't even have enough life experience to teach me about myself. All I knew was that I wanted to help people. We fortunately live in a community where we are rich in employment opportunities, local employers who are willing to hire students straight out of high school with living wages. They need people like you who are willing to show up for work every day and to help this community become even better. Thank you for your willingness to put your energy toward your future.
What a great message from Mary. So thank you, Mary. So before we show you guys how to get started in this pathway, we did want to show you guys one more video from a student that recently graduated from Sheboygan North High School and was able to take advantage of several of the different opportunities that we're going to talk to you guys about tonight. So why don't we take time now to meet JT.
My name's JT Pokrzinski. I work at American Orthodontics and I am in maintenance. So I decided I was going to go directly into the workforce. After it was my second co-op at American Orthodontics, they gave me a job offer for maintenance. So then after that, I kind of knew, well, this is what I'm doing now. I kind of figured it out after going through the co-ops through high school, and at my first co-op at Rockline, I was in maintenance for a couple of weeks, and from then I kind of knew that that was what I wanted to do. Well, I wasn't really a huge fan of school, so I only have to go to school once every other week, and I'm making money the whole time. I get paid to go to school, and probably the greatest or best outcome. My advice would be, if you don't really know what you're doing, kind of do what I did and go through a co-op just to see what's all out there. And you get paid to go to it, you get out of school for 2 hours. And even if you don't find something you want to do, it's still not a bad idea.
What a great message from JT. And there are so many success stories like JT's in our area, again, through similar experiences that we are going to be providing you through this workforce pathway. So how do we get involved? Well, step one, you have to apply. So right here on Inspire's website are all the steps laid out. And step one is to apply. Right now, we're going to walk you guys through the application really quickly. I really just want to point out the simplicity of the application itself. There is room for you to upload your resume if you do have one. That is not required for this. So if you do not have one, you do not have to upload one. And if you do have one and it's not quite ready to share, do not feel the need to share that at this time. Once you do finish the application, you will hit submit and you will receive some information from Inspire Sheboygan County on your next step, which will be step 2. Which we will start working through some different workshops, starting with a real world ready workshop and followed up with one-on-one career conversations. The real world ready workshops will be brought to you by HR personnel from the Sheboygan County area, and they will be speaking with you and working through the resume and mock interviews. The one-on-one career conversations, they're going to dive a little bit deeper, and that's going to provide you another opportunity to speak with someone that has been working here locally in Sheboygan County with all the different great opportunities that we have here. To get started within step 2, you're going to click on register. And again, I just want to show you the simplicity of this form. We're just asking you a few basic questions, and then we're going to ask you guys to select the different events that you guys are going to be signing up for. And then once again, once we finish up with the form, we will hit submit and you guys will receive information from Inspire Sheboygan County, including the Zoom link for those workshops.
Great, thanks, Joe. Step 3, you start looking at what's going to happen after that. We take a look into third quarter, and in the third quarter, we have around 15 employers who are all bought into this workforce pathway, and they're going to provide either virtual or live tours of their companies. In step 1 and 2 is really kind of doing some reflective work about for yourself. What are the skill sets that you have, and what are you going to bring to an employer? Then our step 3 would be going out and seeing these different places of employment so that you can kind of investigate a little bit, see what the culture is like in those companies, see what kinds of things they have to offer to entice you to actually go and work for them. And finally, step 4, which will be fourth quarter, is a 9-week co-op that you would be eligible to apply for. These co-ops will be paid opportunities for you to actually, it's basically a tryout to go to one of these companies, spend 9 weeks investigating and truly experiencing that place of employment. These co-ops potentially could lead to full-time employment upon graduation. So there's some real advantage to taking advantage of these co-ops, because if it goes really well for you and for the employer, that can just easily transition right into full-time work for you once you graduate. We're really trying to set this up so that if you take full advantage of everything that the pathway has to offer, upon graduating from high school, you could walk right into a really spectacular first job.
All right. So we heard from JT earlier, and I know we have a lot of parents on the call tonight. So I do want to take some time to hear from JT's mom, Tina, who will share her perspective on JT's pathway.
I'm Tina Pakerzinski, JT's mom. it was real interesting, kind of the journey we went on. You know, we started out as junior year talking about colleges and, you know, was he going to go on to college? And I really got the sense that he was planning on attending a 4-year school. But it was interesting because he really didn't have a lot of desire to go visit them. So trying to talk through, you know, showing him different things about schools, you know, he seemed to be leaning the engineering route, and I'm like, well, what about engineering, you know, is it that you like? And the more we got talking, you know, it was more of a hands-on type thing that he liked, not as much a theoretical. Yeah, his senior year, he got into his co-ops, which I think were awesome. You know, I think that really helped him understand more about the manufacturing industry. So it helped him understand more about that. And really, you know, again, still probably the first half of his senior year thinking he was going to do a 4-year school. Then as it got later in that semester, I think, you know, it seemed like he really enjoyed what he was doing. They had programs at LTC, so we were looking at that route. That was kind of the plan. And then, yeah, he was working at American Orthodontics and kind of mentioned, hey, my boss there said that maybe this could happen. He's learning so much, you know, he can decide kind of his next steps. You know, I think American Orthodontics, where he works, is a great company. They have some really nice benefits. But yeah, I think, you know, for his future, I think he'll have a lot of opportunities. It's been great seeing the responsibility he's taken. Obviously, he is saving a lot of money. You know, we talked a lot about getting into your 401ks at work, and I don't think that's something that kids think about. And I'm like, well, put in as much money as you can into that, because, you know, you can always change it later if you have something going on and you don't want to put in much, but that money will just grow over time. You'll be so happy once you're in your 60s that you did that. You know, the other thing is I think he seems to really enjoy what he's doing. And don't try and give them the answers or what you think the answers should be, but just asking a lot of questions, getting them to think about and explore the different opportunities they have, the options, you know, what are they really interested in? I think they are looking for guidance, but they don't want to be told what to do. Definitely having that conversation in a way that makes them feel that, or know that they're still ultimately the ones deciding what is best for them. And I think, you know, just making sure that you let them know how proud you are of them. You know, again, you know, some of the decisions that he's made I'm really proud of him in what he's decided to do, and just, you know, letting them know that.
Well, that concludes our section for tonight. Thanks for joining us to learn a little bit more about the workforce pathway. Your takeaway from this session is, if you haven't already completed this application, this workforce pathway application, that is your next step. So if you have not completed that already, please go into the website. Again, you can find that application link right here under step 1. Complete that application, and then from there, you're going to get information on connected to all of the sessions that we have moving forward for the rest of the year. So coming up in December, we're going to start connecting you to our local companies. And then as a review in January, February, and March, we're actually going to be taking you live or maybe even in person to some of these companies where you can meet the staff there and ask questions and see the work environment, and then build up all the way to that youth co-op if that's what you desire. So first step is complete that application, and then we will get you plugged into the sessions coming up. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we look forward to helping you make connections and help you get set for that path to success.